Bom dia, galera! Tô trazendo mais um vídeo aqui pra vocês e hoje eu tô trazendo um vídeo de mais uma partida que a gente jogou em um campeonato. Neste campeonato a gente jogou contra o time da Vicinal, que é um time NA, eles são dos Estados Unidos, e neste confronto eles fizeram o pique de Hillbilly e quando a gente fez o pique de Blight. Mas a partida de Blight eu vou trazer num outro vídeo. Hoje eu vou mostrar pra vocês como foi a nossa partida de Hillbilly, para vocês verem como é que a gente joga e também para comentar um pouco sobre as partidas de Billy. Agora a gente vai começar como o pique é deles em campeonato. Quando um time pica um killer, eles começam jogando The Killer no pique deles e o time o outro time oposto joga de Survivor. Então a gente vai começar essa partida jogando de Serve e logo na sequência a gente vai ter a partida do Nervo jogando de Billy. Eu tava jogando, como sempre, as minhas teorias, eu gosto bastante de jogar contra Hillbilly, eu gosto de jogar de Nancy, então eu tô jogando ali na função também do save. Então agora vocês vão ver a partida, depois eu volto pra comentar mais sobre essa partida.
I had to interrupt my mewing streak and come up here and yap again. But we have Gree0 on Billy, and we just saw Silence win a Blight set really quite hard, and now it's Vicinal's turn for their killer pick. Let's see if Gree0 can determine why they picked it, and right there is why we're seeing Gree0 laying down the law, putting up a good curve, and wow, that was a great start. Look at this build, Potato. We got Thana, Ruin. This looks like a lot of slugging to me.
This is saying, sorry about the Blight game, sorry I didn't perform, don't worry y'all, I got you on the trade-off. It says I'm going to be getting a 4K5 or something pretty close to it. This isn't a play it safe Billy build. This is a I'm going to go get everybody on the floor really fast, as the unhook does come through almost as fast as that build wanted to happen. And now we're in overdrive, trying to get this down onto FDS. This is tunnel out. We'll see if they have any anti-tunnel, but right now we're just hitting wood.
Look at those obsession tendrils tingling on that ace. He's either for the people or decides to strike. I think he could be decides to strike. I think he's there for a reason. And Gree0 is gonna find out whether he likes it or not if he hits this curve. But I don't know, honestly, if you don't go down, why even need to use it? I mean, FDS is greeting for a reason. It's because he's saying, you can't hit me, man. You're gonna have to upgrade your battle pass if you want to hit me, bud.
How do we? This is the DVD version of Nana Boo Boo, and Gree0 trying to get it down onto FDS. It gets the pallet first, although FDS does have another pallet, but gets the correct play on it, making sure they don't get hit by the curve, as we should be seeing gens pop in the distance, or down under a pallet, and the swing through doesn't land, and Gree0 says, wait, I have gens I have to worry about. This isn't a 1v1? I'm sorry. Let me go get this guy on the hill gen and see if you can handle the crouch check, and Nervosito going down, but Gree0 not wanting to get the hook. They just want to free down for pressure. They want to go back to FDS. Have Ruin tick away at that gen, have Thana do its work as a gen does pop off in the distance. Trying to find FDS still, here at the imposter tile, trying to find them on the edge map. FDS with some pathing here to help them survive. FDS, where you at?
He's just on fire right now. I think he's single-handedly brought them out of the from that early hook stage to a reasonable mid game here. I would not be surprised if we see another gen pop. There it is. Now, that said, FDS is going to be death hook now. That's two stages on the board on the same survivor. Likely to be tunnel out soon. I think we're going to see Silence slow down a little bit. They're probably going to split up. I don't know if they're going to be on Tango to fast unhook this, but I can't even keep up. Gree0 is just constantly pumping out chases. He's going to get a tag here on Nervosito and probably go right back with his overcharge. Let's see how FDS can play. He played the first chase really well. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends this Billy for another long run. And he's going to see him at 12. FDS has got to make this broken bus work, but can he do it? Finds the Nancy, but collides, and I'm just at a loss for words. Potato, help me out here.
I'll see what I can do, but I think right now FDS might be at a loss for resources. This bus not going to be enough, but here's going to be the down, and Gree0 may be concerned about a flashlight save, a pallet save, a DS. That's why they're looking around, trying to figure out what is the game plan here. Gree0 now might be wanting to get the pickup. But no, concerned about the power, concerned about the DS, concerned about everything. Wants to go straight back to this hill gen, sees Nervosito on it again. Now gonna go back to the slug, is now when you try to pick up and get this into an official 3v1. We'll see. Standing on top of it, baiting more. We see the totems, we see the gens, but we don't see where these survivors are or what they're doing. Now Guzio picks. And there is a survivor here. They take an M1 forward, but that is definitely worth it. Stops the tunnel from happening. And now Grizio has to chase somebody. Did they win the 50-50 of which survivor went which direction over here at the bus? Where'd they go again?
Wow, FTS's movement and just the spots where he chooses to crouch and hide his groans is just... This guy is playing so well for Survivor on SA ping as well. I gotta say, again, these guys are playing on ping. They make it look like it's just normal DBD, super easy. And Greezero, though, finally gonna catch him out here. Finally, the man, the myth, the legend, FTS is gonna be going down. No more gooning for him. His streak is down. Just like Greezero is going to be busting it down now that we're into 3v1. And the 3v1 is really where this starts up. I mean, you got Thanatophobia to help slow down the gens for every injury, every slug you get. But we've already made it to 1 gen. I mean, Potato, that's what we wanted a 3v1 at 4. This isn't even like an insane win con anymore.
I'd agree. 4K1 is what most people would say is the expected result of Billy in most balancing systems. So saying that this unusual, risky, crazy build might be getting you a 4K1 just isn't worth the risk. It isn't worth this pressure. Thanatophobia not doing as much in a 3v1 as you don't get that big chunk of 14% at the end for having all 4 survivors injured or slugged. You still get 4% from the down and the injury, but it's just not that much. The big keystones here: Ruin, Retribution, crowd control, trying to get these chases to end quickly. And now we see the chase back at this bus. This pallet already used. Billy in overdrive. You're gonna get the pallet or the hit. See which one Grizio is going for, and chooses neither. Yeah, hits a rock instead. We're not playing Fortnite. We're not playing Minecraft. Although that is the kind of jokes that you're looking for our audience to understand. And now we're gonna see the chase on the Nervosito at this imposter lane. But make sure the Nervosito doesn't make it to the window, gets the pull, doesn't care the reset's happening. That's gonna release the hook, maybe?
Nervosito forces locker. That makes it so it's not exactly a slug. Greezero, though, does have to find, are they either resetting or are they splitting on doing gens? With how aggressive this team's silence has been on gens, how fast they pump them out, I'd be surprised if you can give a damn about resetting at all. In fact, I think someone's stealthing for the pull, and Greezero's got the same exact idea. But where it's kind of slowing down here in the pace. Hold that thought, though. We've got scratch marks and a snipe! And that's going to be a slug into a chase on Nervosito. This could be it, Potato. That means Darkside's the only one cranking that gen at Shack. Nervosito's got to hold a chase here for 20 seconds at least, and that doesn't happen. It's over.
It's over unless there's anything fancy happening. Unbreakable, I believe, is not allowed against Billy. You don't have a way to pick yourself up off the floor. We'll see if this survivor can stealth and get some saves, or get some pickups or something, or crank gen in the distance. Greezero thinks they have a lock on where the survivor is, but we don't have eyes yet. No scratch marks, no groans. Now checking basement. This isn't over yet. If they can figure out where the survivor is, sure. 4K1, write it down, put it on the scoreboard at the top of the screen. But right now, Darkside doing a great job staying in the dark, hiding, figuring out what the best game plan is, letting these survivors recover. Greezero at a loss with zero clue where they are. The pickup does come through. Now Greezero having to go salvage what they did, lost the pressure of not finding the last survivor. Never mind, they find Nervosito, they'll be fine.
Darkside really doing a good impression of what his namesake is, kind of giving a good snake impression, staying in the dark like you said. But that is all said and done. We've now got a chase with Nervosito and just greeting his pallet really well. I cannot overstate how well these survivors are playing right now. It looks like they are on fire, and Caster's curse, right as I say that, he gets curved. So I guess I should just stop yapping and just let him play. But Greezero's gonna have another down, and he's worried about potential desperation attempt at that gen at Shack. He really wants this 4K1, but can he find these slugs? Can he find Darkside? Darkside doing a really good job staying away from the Billy and stealthing across this map. You gotta remember, this is a giant green map with not a lot of big structures, a lot of low tiles to crouch around, but pretty easy to spot rotations, and that just makes it all the more impressive with how Darkside's doing this. But Potato, I don't think we're going to see another Gen Pop. I would be surprised if we even see a recovery at all. I think the one thing, if you want to correct me, that Silence has on their side is that bleedouts do matter. So GreZero does have to hook at some point, and that might be their one thing they have.
Correct. This is a league where the fresh bleeds are going to be a loss of the fresh hook. Nervosito has been hooked once, this will be their second, but Mariana on the ground is a fresh hook. That would be a fresh bleed, which in a Billy set means that the 4K1 isn't a tie con, it's a win con, which is a completely realistic thing to occur. If you're playing Billy, you're wanting the 4K1 at minimum, not 4K1 with the tiebreaker loss afterwards. Seeing Nervosito, sure, but at the end of the day, right now, all the Survivors side has to do is distract GreZero long enough that they can't look for Mariana without being punished. If you look for Mariana and you lose a gen, that's even worse. So making sure Mariana gets the fresh bleed is enough for this Survivor team to say, our killers got this half.
And GreZero does find a chase, though, and I mean, we're in the 3v1 here. Every chase puts that much more pressure, and I have to know, where the hell did Mariana crawl? He hasn't been picked up this whole time. He's close to bleeding out. I mean, GreZero, some people say, you know, oh, I'm going to the gym, I'm trying to looks max right now. He's slug maxing. He's slug maxing. That's what he's doing. And he has an idea that he might be in this corner at 1, but the pro is not disturbed. Not going to find him. Mariana, I think this was their plan, their intent, was to have him bleed out. That way, if it does tie at 4K1, it's actually a win for them, and this could be just a little bit of a 2-0. I didn't think this would be that close. But, oh, but right as I say that, he finds him right before he bleeds out. GreZero somehow having the Ultra Instinct moment to just find him and powers up and just uses his Immaculate Game Sense or something. But I wonder if, Potato, if we're going to see that come in later in this game. But hold that thought, we actually have a chase with the last remaining Survivor. This could be it. Wow.
It's going to be the last slug, and that was, as you said, a last-second humongous difference in the result of this game. Darkside, still fresh hook, still have to find them, but you have a lot of time to be able to find Darkside. Now Mariana sitting on the hook, you know where Hack spawns, you know that's not going to be concerned, you have 3 minutes to find Mariana on the ground. And now we swap from DBD to hide and seek.
Yeah, and that's going to be a death there, and I think, is there a refresh hook anywhere else to be seen on these Survivors? I think they've all been hooked, right? Once, at least?
This is Darkside's first, so now that GreZero has found it, now we're going to call it a day. Now we see 4K1 tie condition going into the second side. Silence, we'll see if they're able to force it into at least not force it. K1 first set. I'm paying attention, woohoo. Silence, knowing that if they get better than a 4K1, are going to take the 2-0. But if it's a 4K1 tie or lesser, we'll see you for the Oni set. Regardless, we got the time to sit on hook. Yep, Mariano's almost dead. So what are you expecting for the second half of this Billy set?
We got time to yap. I think, really, we saw Mariana last time on the Blight set. He went for a very aggressive kind of totem build, right? With the Retribution proc and just really active on the map. And it kind of paid off for him. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see more totems. Honestly, the whole like Thanatophobia, I've seen one other comp Billy, or I've seen a few other comp Billies run that for like slugging playstyle, but for me, it's going to be Ruin, Retribution, maybe crowd control, and Corrupt.
We'll see what Silence's killer will be running on the reset right after this.
E agora a gente vai ver então a partida de Hillbilly do Nervo, lembrando que a nossa partida de Survivor foi 4K com 1 gen up, então a missão do Nervo era fazer 4K 2 gen up para que a gente pudesse garantir a vitória. Vou mostrar a build dele aqui para vocês. Ele tava com o Engraving iridescente, a botinha, que naquela época a botinha ali, como vocês podem ver no vídeo, a botinha era da raridade amarela, mas é a mesma coisa. É a oferenda que a gente sempre usa em campeonato, que eu já expliquei pra vocês no vídeo anterior, é a Cutcoin, pra evitar ficar se estocando no mapa se tem muita caixa. E a build é então o Corrupted Intervention, que 3 geradores ficam bloqueados no início da partida por 120 segundos ou até a primeira down do primeiro Survivor. E as outras 3 perks são perks de totem. Ainda era o crowd control antigo, né? Ainda era o crowd control antigo, mas o crowd control nada mais é de que cada vez que o Survivor ele dá um vault numa janela, essa janela ela fica bloqueada. Antigamente essa perk, quando o serve dava vault numa janela, ela ficava bloqueada por 1 minuto, era 60 segundos. Agora ela fica bloqueada para sempre as 5 janelas que o serve pularem. Aí se ele pulou 5 janelas e pular a sexta, a primeira que ele pulou lá vai ser aberta. Então vai rotacionando dessa forma e este bloqueio fica ativo até que o totem seja removido. Eu acredito que na maioria dos campeonatos de hoje essa perk já foi incluída no ban geral, porque é muito forte. Então naquela época ela era um pouco diferente, mas ainda assim é uma boa perk para usar. A outra perk é a perk bem clássica de ser usada hoje em campeonato, que é o Ruin, né? Que é uma perk que você não precisa se preocupar muito em chutar gerador ou cuidar de gerador, porque ela trabalha sozinha, né? Os geradores, enquanto a perk estiver ativa, os geradores eles vão regredindo por si só, num total de até 100% do progresso de velocidade. E a outra perk também, que eu também particularmente gosto bastante de usar em campeonato para killers de mobilidade, que é o Hex Retribution. Esta perk ela funciona da seguinte forma: cada vez que o Survivor ele está interagindo com o totem, quando ele clica para remover o totem, ele fica com o status de Oblivious, que é 45 segundos. Então esta perk faz com que os Survivors ele não escutem o killer, né? Então para um Billy isso é muito bom, porque o Billy ele consegue se locomover muito rapidamente no mapa e o Survivor não está escutando o Billy, né? E a outra play que pode ser muito forte também é que quando o Retribution ou qualquer totem ele é removido, você consegue ver a aura de todos os Survivors por 15 segundos. Ou seja, se você está jogando uma partida com estes 3 totens e o serve vai remover qualquer um dos totens, porque quando a gente joga com totem, não tem como a gente saber qual totem vai ser removido, né? Então, digamos que o serve, ele vai remover o primeiro totem da partida e o primeiro totem que ele está removendo é o crowd control. O serve que está removendo o crowd control, ele vai ter o status de Oblivious por 45 segundos e eu vou ter a informação de todos os 4 survivors por 15 segundos. Quando eles forem remover o segundo totem, que for Ruin, vai acontecer a mesma coisa. Enquanto o Retribution estiver ativo, a gente vai ter informação da aura dos Survivors cada vez que eles removerem um totem na partida. Então, para killers de mobilidade, como um Billy, um Blight, uma Nurse, essa combinação de perks ela é muito forte. Você combar o Retribution com outros totens, tá? Então, dada a explicação agora, vamos ver a partida então de Hillbilly do nosso killer, que é o Nervo.
Everyone to the stream. We are tuning in with Vicinal versus Silence on Billy. Silence did take Blight set number 1, and the killer for Vicinal, now on the Blight set that they chose, just put up a 4K1. Now it's on Silence's survivors to counter that with a potential better win con. Or not Silence's survivors, sorry, Vicinal survivors. And we have Nervosito on the Billy here. I gotta correct my mistake. Don't put disrespect on Nervosito. Never do it. He gets a hit through the pallet. Bronzy already getting tagged here. Potato, this is such a lightning fast start. I didn't even introduce you. I forgot to. I'm so sorry.
You're more than fine as we're getting these cases off the rep, even though they aren't on off the rep. We're on Bronzy, already with a hit, trying to figure out what they're doing at this pallet, and they're just gonna hold W. But will they get punished for it? No. Mind games.
Wow.
That's very M1. That's a very M1 chase for a Billy set. I feel like that was unusual, but hey, it works. You take these. That is a hook, and we'll see what Nervosito can do on the Silence killer side of this set. 4K1 is the tie condition. 4K2 means congrats, Silence. 2-0, you're going home. You're good. Thumbs up. If this is a 4K1 to tie into the tiebreaker set, or a better result for the Survivor squad, excuse me, we'll be going into tiebreaker. But Nervosito trying to make sure that isn't the case, trying to see where these survivors are. With all this early pressure, 1 gen pop, you see someone on this gen, and you know that nobody should be going for the save, because I think there was 2 people on that gen. But what is the correct play here, Georgie?
I mean, the survivors for Vicinal, I mean, you're already seeing it. I think they're just foregoing this hook, or at least were. I think there was an attempted unhook here, but you want to just triple split in your gens, mind the pressure. I mean, the thing with Billy is he can be everywhere at once. Usually you see him leave hook and then come back to secure a little bit later, and looks like we're going to be doing the Billy dance in front of this hook and securing a second stage, and I'm sure Vicinal is all too privy to this, so I'm betting you they're working those gens over at 10 or, you know, whatever clock you want to go by. But if it's over there where that broken garbage dump is, whatever you want to call it on your clock, that's the gen they're working. And we might even see rotation to Shaq. Hold that thought though, look at that totem placement in main, like right next to the hook he's securing. That is some major luck right there, and Nervosito is going to be getting a tag here. Oh, but he wants the chainsaw. Light, though, is going to break it away. Slasher with a terrific use of exhaustion there. And just look at the greed has been the name of the game with these survivors. They're just so unwilling to drop these pallets, and it's kind of working out. I mean, the chases are working out, and Nervosito's back in a chase. Potato, take me through this final chase on Bronzy, who is Death Hook.
This final chase on Bronze is going to start with a pallet drop and going to bust, but you don't make this window, you at least get M1, no dead hard. We'll see if there is a DS or pallet save or something fancy happening. Anyone here for a flashlight? Isn't there. It gets stuck on the little part of the bus there, wondering if they had accuracy on that flashlight, but regardless of why, the what is important. The what is Bronzy is dead with 4 gens left. Make that 3 now, and a chase immediately onto Slasher. And this is a very good position for Nervosito. 4K2 is the win con, so you can even give up one of these gens. But Nervosito says, nah, I got Ruin, I've got a chainsaw, and I've got the skills to finish this match here. And what can these survivors do?
Critical mistake not getting that flashlight, but you can see how reluctant Nervosito is to give out these M1s. He could clearly be hitting them, but he wants the chainsaws. He's comfortable. Did you see him autocorrect for that flare that the Ada did on that tile there next to the pallet? Just really well played. And this is probably another life coming out from the from Slasher here. Not quite. No, that's gonna be another down. Oh, okay. Well, Caster's curse again, and he chooses to die pallet. So I wonder if we have Greezero waiting in the rocks here with the sprint burst, and looks like that's exactly what's happening.
Yep, but Greezero being cut out here means it's a great snowball potential for Nervosito. We already saw that Nervosito was wanting to slug, so if they were going to slug anyways, I don't know why you would be hovering for the save. Instead, it gets caught out here. And now, that's 2 on the ground. Gray, are you cranking a gen? Are you going for the pickup? Are you stealthing? What are you doing? Because you need to be doing something. Nervosito, not concerned about these fresh bleeds if they come through, because who cares? Gens is the first priority when it comes to win conditions. If you get the 4K3, you don't care if fresh bleeds out. Freshes bleed out. Words are difficult, but that's what the survivors are struggling with too. Trying to figure out what to do in this difficult situation. Because there's not much they can do safely.
I no shame there, brother. Sometimes I'm struggling on yapping or just playing DVD in general. But hey, we're all here. We're all just trying to learn. And let's get back to the game though. Nervosito has already got a slug and an injury. Vicinal has just really got to like find a way to come back into this game because the downs are just happening too fast. And Nervosito decides, okay, I have time to hook. I don't need to keep the slug train going. But man, is this team Silence just playing so well today. This Noller is just trying to claw their way into a tiebreaker at least. And we've got to see 2 more gens pop just to even get to Tycon. How are they going to climb this mountain? Well, if you ask me, it's got to be a really good stealth play for this unhook. It's got to be a split pressure between someone on a gen, someone stalling for the pole, and look at this. Nervosito knows that's their win con, right? And he's trying to find him so bad, but survivors on Vicinal nowhere to be found for there. What do you think they're working?
I think they're working Shack because we just saw the ace. We see Gray here at the Shack gen, and an attempt at a curve doesn't hit, but that was way too close of a comfort. The unhook does come in. There's no broken, so it's not deliverance. And Nervosito, no audio, but still trying to get this play here at this unusual pallet they played earlier. Not wanting to break the pallet, just trying to break their ankles. Gray off the rip, trying to take this edge map on the other side, give these survivors time to do other things. But Nervosito is saying, turn to the left, go back to where these survivors were. These, what I believe is Greezero over here. Yep, that is the injured Claudette they're after. and there's the pallet. This used to be a walk down M1. Nervosito wanted to be fancy and
Ends it in
succeeds
style.
at it. Beautiful down. Not wanting to take the extra hook. Wanted to make sure that these gens aren't flying. But you can give up one of these gens. This is a risky play to slug here, but it's paying off. You find Slasher, you get a pallet. You should have them cornered. They have one window. But the pickup does come onto Grizero, so Georgie, is all this worth it?
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm sitting here thinking, man, your win con is 4K1. You can afford to hook here. I mean, look at how much pressure they've got on these generators. It's I see maybe Shaq is at 20%. The gen he just interrupted here at the broken bus is at 20% as well. So, okay. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a split going, but it's just overkill. I think I'm starting to think it's biting him, not hooking as often as he is, but now he's got a hook here. Now the game, you know, what hooks give you, what I want to like emphasize here is like a location on where people will be. You know something's there. Whereas with the slug situation, it's like anyone could be anywhere.
Yeah, I
Ray
agree.
eats the chainsaw through the window. I'm so sorry, but I just gotta hold that thought. These chainsaws, I mean, I'm sure they're looking horrible on Vicinal's stream or on their POV, but they're looking pretty clean from Nervosito. I gotta say, his mechanics on Billy, like the S curves, everything he's been hitting, really well played. Really well played.
I agree. Slugging is chaos, and hooking is consistency. Hooking gives you info on where these survivors are, confidence they're not doing anything, but the other way to know they're not doing anything is when they're in your face, and now you know where everyone on the map is. But hooking being consistency is what you're looking for. You have an advantage position. You have gens you can give up for free. You have the confidence to say, I can get my downs. You can hook it and know that these gens aren't flying. You have Ruin to deal with that for you. And now what you do see is the scratch marks. Seeing if these survivors can stabilize, get some gen pressure. But as you know, one of them has to go for the unhook fast, and that's why Nervosito is doing the long loop around to get back to this tile, trying to see where these two survivors together are. And now we do see
the big brain play coming out from Vicinal, trying to get the correct macro decision going, but Grizero is out of position without a sprint burst exhaustion to bail him out here. Sees the curve coming, goes to flare, but Nervosito didn't even send it. That's going to be a free, quick, easy down. These hook stages are stacking up, and the gens are not popping. Potato, we're in a crisis here. How are Vicinal going to come out of this?
I'd agree that is a great correction, but I think the more important correction is Nervosito. Great curves, great macro play, the confidence to slug and know where these survivors are. Sure, I think they could have gotten the 4K2 by hooking, but was Nervosito trying to make a statement? Say, I get the 4K3, and they're trying to make a statement with that curve. And now they just want to say, time for me to go home, seize the Ada, and that's a down. That's everybody on the floor, no unbreakables, all the freshes have been gotten. This should be a 4K3, and Georgie, what a statement.
Everyone loves seeing a good old Sin car curve. You know, it's been done a million times. I remember back in the old day, like 2018, when, well, I wasn't even playing back then. I'd started playing 2021 on like Trickster release, but back in the day, I've seen clips of that. Like everyone went crazy over Sin car. Now it's just a thing. Like everyone knows about it, right? It's like, it's whatever. It's like Blight Hug Tech. Everyone knew about that for a while, right? But yeah, going back to the original discussion, I mean, look, I gotta say, I think Silence looked like the better team today. They came, their survivors were phenomenal. Their killer side was near flawless. And Vicinal, though a strong, extremely threatening team, just could not put up with the pressure. So for these two sets, it's just going to go for Silence's way. And I got to say, Silence just played out of their mind, and good luck to Vicinal in the future.